Live music is incredible. That's one of the things that Ben and I have in common is that we love to go to live shows to see your favorite artists that you stream, that you watch on social media, and you see them performing live. It's an intimate experience of actually getting to feel the music, right, step by step. And also, music awards shine a spotlight on those that we usually see and hear, which are right in the middle or the center of our attention, even when we go and see them live. However, the production of a live performance is more than just your favorite artist. It's the backing vocalists, the session musicians that cannot, be done without when it comes to these performances. And backing vocalists and session musicians are hardly ever spoken about, and they also deserve that spotlight on them. The Backing Vocalist and Session Music Awards shine a spotlight on people who play an intricate part in the making of the music, and it prides itself in shining the spotlight on the often neglected artists who back main acts, either as vocalists, instrumentalists, or even both. Now in its 5th year, the awards were founded by iconic singer Mam Yvonne Chaka Chaka, who's joining us on the line this morning. Thank you so much for your time. Singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, humanitarian, and founder of the Backing Vocalist and Session Music
She's
Awards.
also a podcaster now.
A podcaster as well. I mean, I'm sure she has so many other titles. Mam Yvonne, thank you so much for your time.
Como estão?
It is a pleasure to have you this morning. And you know what? I think there's no one more perfect to be the founder of the awards like this, because I'm pretty sure that throughout your decades and decades in your career, you've really seen the importance of session musician and backing vocalists within your career, haven't you?
Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado. I just want to say thank you very much for having me this morning. I can hear this is Channel Africa, so we parle français, we follow Portuguese, we speak English, we speak Kiswahili and everything.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And absolutely, I think really for me, it's something that I've always had at the back of my mind, that there's no Yvonne without a guitarist, a backing vocalist, a pianist, or a saxophonist. And it took a very long time to realize that these people are part of the value chain in my career as an artist. And without them, I would not be there. But this started in 1989. I was in the studio recording a song. This is from me to you. All we have to do.
Yeah.
Sing, Mama, sing.
And Artie van Wyk at the time said, Yvonne, we're done doing the song. Do you think we should add a guitar or a saxophone or a trumpet? So we stood there and we debated. So we settled for a saxophone and a guitar. They went outside of the studio. There was a guy called Teaspoon Ndelu and Temba Mokwena. They came, they put the guitar, put the saxophone, and the song changed. It was totally transformed. And it was on the day when I felt so bad because those guys paid 150 rands for a session fee.
Wow.
And I was young, and I said to myself, is this all that these guys are getting? If the CD sells 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, these guys have got no recourse. They're never going to get anything. But I was young then, but I thought about it. Everything happens for a reason and in God's time. Fast forward in 2009, I put up a proposal. So I spoke to different artists, Bomandisa Zlanga, Stella Kumalo, Zamombuto, to say, don't you think it would be a very good thing to have backing vocalists and session musicians, those who work in the studio and those who do live shows with us, get something out of a recording?
Sure.
And I had a meeting with Ray Peary as well, and we sat there, we spoke, and it was like, Yvonne, these people come and go, and I said, but half of them, this is their daily job. But, a person who celebrated is Chico, it's Brenda, it's Miriam, but never these people who sometimes when you listen to a song, You love just the guitar, but you don't even know who's playing it.
Yeah, that's so true. So how are you going to go about acknowledging them? I mean, this is the fifth one. This is not the first one in its entirety. Has it not been a challenge identifying the background vocalists or the session musicians? How have you made it easy for the awards?
All right, this is how we do it. I started singing in 1985, and I know music has been there for a very long time. So when we launched the BVSM, what we did, we said the first lot, we're going to get musicians who'd been in the industry from the part of the 60s and the 70s. Like Abu Butemba Mkhize, Mandisa Dlanga, Stella Kumalo, they've been there since the early 70s and things like that. So those are the ones that we honored then in 2015. So because the awards are biannual. So the second lot, we then said we're going to say we look for the artists who've been in the industry, your backing vocalists and session musicians, who've been in the industry from 1980 to 1985. From 1985 to 1990, 1995. So we slot it like that because then an artist must have consistency, you know, in the 3-4 years. If you go and say to Johnny Clark, you know Mandisa Dlanga, and Johnny Clark says, yes, Mandisa has performed with me. You go to Ray Peary says, yes, Kanyo has always been there. Okay. The one that we're doing now is 2005 to 2010. Wow. That's how we separate them. So fast forward, we'll do music from 2010 to 2015. So we look for those artists who are constantly working with your frontliners during those times. That's how we separate them, and that's how we choose the artists.
That's so beautiful.
And then we've got lifetime awards.
Yeah, that's beautiful because even going back in time, why was it important for you to go back in time and not to just start from what's happening now and look at the industry? Because that would have been more easier. This is more like you are researching and getting out the archives and going out there and finding those wonderful musicians who probably were sidelined at the time.
Absolutely. That's exactly that. We're looking at the artists who gave themselves time to be out there, entertain us, inform us, work very hard, but were never recognized. So we go to places like Sambro, Kapauso, and we then ask. We actually take the CDs of those artists who were popular during those times. We look, who were the backing vocalists? Who were the session musicians? And then that's how we then get these artists. And somebody was saying to me, you know, Yvonne, it looks like you started something called Middle Time when we didn't even have the name for it, to acknowledge these artists who come into a session, work, and just get a session fee and leave. Yeah. But now with Sampra, these artists do get a royalty. If you were on Yvonne Chaka Chaka's CD or Brenda Fassie or Mary Makeba, they've got a recourse, they get a royalty now. Because if you come into the studio and I say to you, put something, that's your line, that's your IP, and you have to be paid for it.
Absolutely. And I love how intentional it is that you go so much into detail in recognizing the backing vocalists and session musicians. Ma'am Yvonne, let's take a very short break. We'll come back and continue speaking about this year's Backing Vocalist and Session Music Awards.
Download the SABC app and take Channel Africa with you everywhere you go. In this episode of Channel Africa Conversations, Peter talks to Dr. Tulisile Buddha, an academic, author, and an expert in indigenous knowledge systems. Join us for a compelling discussion on preserving African languages and traditions in the digital era. Dr. Tulisile unpacks the role of educators, explorers, and how technologies like AI can support cultural preservation, and challenges us to rethink how we honor African heritage. You can find the episode on YouTube, SABC Plus, and on our website, channelafrica.co.za. This episode is a must-listen for educators, creators, and change makers across the continent. Channel Africa, the African perspective. 9 to 12 midday, Central African Time, On the Move with Palesa Tau and Benjamin Moshatama.
I'm sure you guys must be excited to hear Mom Yvonne Chaka Chaka on the line. I see many people coming on our live streams. Bonfacial Exton, Gift, Luciano, Kamwanda, Makochi, amongst others. Thank you for joining us there on our Facebook live stream at Channel Africa 1. We're speaking to Mom Yvonne about this wonderful initiative that she kind of said, you know what, I'm going to innovate here. And it's a wonderful way of empowering backing vocalists and session musicians. It's an award called exactly that, the Backing Vocalists and Session Musicians Awards. And we're going to wrap things up with her. But let's find out a little bit more about how the awards are going to be taking place, where they're going to be taking place. Ma'am Yvonne, where are the awards taking place? How can we, the public, also participate in this wonderful initiative?
Ma'am Yvonne, are you there? Okay, we seem to have lost Ma'am
We've lost
Yvonne
her
on the
there.
line
Sure.
there. But I think this is so incredible
So
because
cool, yeah.
those who are usually seen as people in the background are more than just in the background. In fact, there is no session without them. Even the music that we hear from our favorite artists will not be anything close to what we hear without those backing vocalists and those session musicians. So it is quite an important, award ceremony, I think, to take place, especially because we're going back and recognizing those who were in, the past as well.
Okay, I think Mom Yvonne is back as we wrap things up and just get the finer details of the awards. Mom Yvonne, where can we find out more about the awards and when are they taking place? And we, the public, how do we participate?
Well, thank you very much. The announcement of the awards and the nomination had been done from May. So now we are at the final stage. Artists and nominees are out there. The show is on the 26th of October at the Soweto Theatre. Soweto Theatre has become our home, and we've got different sectors. We've got your bass, guitar, lead guitar, trumpet, brass section. So we've got different sections there, even the rookie of the year. So that's how we bring in the rookie of the year on the awards. So it's on the 26th of October at the Soweto Theatre, 12 o'clock. It's by invitation because we want to make it a family-orientated show. So the nominees bring their husbands or their children so that they can see what they have been going through and what they do on a daily basis.
Well, that is incredible. Well, we know that you have to leave us, but we really do appreciate you speaking to us this morning as a legend, of course, in music, but also as someone who obviously really, really cares about the other dynamics within the music industry and showing your care through these particular award ceremonies. Thank you so much, Ma'am Yvonne Chaka Chaka, for joining us on The Move.
Thank you very much for having me. And I forgot to say that the winner goes with 25,000 rand.
Oh, yes.
I know it's very little, but we give them 5,000 rands instantly, and the 20,000 rands we invested for them with 27.4. And we encourage these artists to say, if you have a session and you've got 1,000 rands or 500 rands to spare, top it up on this retirement annuity that we open for you.
Oh, this
wonderful.
is incredible. I think that is so important because many artists, as we hear throughout the years, do die without having the right, pension funds and a way to really take care of themselves and their families. So very, very important prize there. Thank you so much, Mama.
Muito obrigado.
That's Ma'am Yvonne Chaka Chaka, South African singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, humanitarian, the princess of Africa, all-encompassing legend herself.